Okay, perfect. Maybe just one more minute. We'll get started at 3:03. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, thank you for attending. This is a webinar where we're going to go over 7 ways to use your website as a sales tool. Obviously, most of us have one, or if you don't, you're probably looking to get one if you have a business. But we oftentimes kind of build it or have it built, and then we just kind of leave it stagnant. We don't really optimize all of the ways that it can be used to actually support revenue growth and sales and conversions. So I want to go over a few things that you can maybe look at from a different lens and figure out how that works for how, some of them may work for your business as you're doing strategy and planning out part of your marketing and sales. Hey, let's look at KPIs from these things as well that maybe we didn't consider before. So we're going to get started. Little introduction. My name is Kelly Kelly. I'm the founder and CEO of brndMethod Media Group. We're a digital agency and we help our clients elevate their online brand presence through strategic and creative digital experiences. So that includes content marketing. We build websites. We also do podcast production. Our content marketing covers social media and email. That's sort of our signature program, our signature plan. Basically, we feel the approach of combining those two gives us the best opportunity to leverage a strong online presence. Social's great. It's a great top of funnel thing, but we always encourage our clients to get them to move their audience to an owned list, a list that you can use and nurture. We'll kind of talk about that in some of these strategies. And then, your social channels are sort of that front facing piece that you can use as part of your marketing as well. This January will be the 5th year of this iteration of the business. I personally have 20 years of experience. Goodness gracious, 20 years of experience across various sectors of marketing. So public relations, traditional marketing, and then for the majority of my career, it's been digital. I'm a wife, a mom of 2, and I reside in Atlanta. All right. So the breakdown of the agenda, the 7 things we're going to cover, we're going to talk about your CRM. We're going to talk about chatbots, pop-ups, FAQs, testimonials, inquiry form, and your Facebook pixel. You don't have to have all of these. You don't have to, once this is over, go and get them all. The idea is just to kind of highlight what these are, how they can support your sales growth, and then some tips and recommendations. So maybe you take a few of these and you implement them for Q1 2023. You see how they work for you. Maybe you keep one and you drop off the other ones, or you add some more from the list. I wanted this to be a robust list and equip you with information that you can use across different aspects of your business. All right, so the first one, we're going to talk about your CRM. So that's basically customer relationship management tools. It's any tool, strategy, or process that helps businesses better organize and access customer data. This is super, super key to make sure that you have a CRM linked to your website. Some people miss that connection. They have a website, and then separately they have a CRM where they sort of handle deals in a bit of a silo. If you link them together, the data and the insights is phenomenal. And we're going to talk about that. So basically, when you link your CRM, a really a few key ways that this can help your sales growth is you track every deal in your pipeline. That doesn't matter if you're B2B or B2C. You can track every deal. And then you can also use it to nurture key prospects. So check in with them, email them. You probably know, a no today could be a yes in 6 months. But in the day-to-day of business, it's hard to remember when you've had 10 calls in Q1 to circle back in Q3. Well, what did I say? Where did we leave off? What was a CRM will help you organize all of that. And also another key thing, it can let you systematize your sales process. That will allow you to delegate. That will allow you to have a repeatable process and refine it and tweak it to figure out where you can improve in order to close more business. So some key things with your CRM is really, again, where you manage your sales process in a simplified yet effective way. It doesn't have to be like, what's the big one? Salesforce. You don't have to go all Salesforce on this. It can be something really simple. And we'll talk about one of the ones that I recommend, which is HubSpot. Super easy. And one of the main things you want to do is personalize your follow-up. So for example, the CRM will tag your subscribers by what they engage with and how they got to you. So for example, our website, if somebody opts in for our social media manager checklist, that is tagged in their sort of contact card in the CRM. So I don't have to wonder, how did they find me? Did they see something on Instagram? No, they came through from an opt-in for a social media manager checklist. So then what we do is we follow up with related content to move them to get on a call. If you continuously see that these particular leads from a company or this specific lead is engaging with social media, the content that you have regarding social media, they probably want social media services, likely. And then that allows you to frame your outreach better and just make it more personalized so they don't feel like, they have to say it all over again what they really want. You can sort of deduce how to best approach them and figure out their pain points, and then you can help to close them. So here's some tips on how to maximize your CRM. You want to develop a system. When I say that, I mean, if you have, one day a week where you're part of your weekly task are sales related, you want 30 minutes every week to go through and look at all of your deals and follow up. If Monday is your CRM day and your sales day, you need to make sure 30 minutes of that time is to follow up, to reach out to new people, to add more people to your prospect list. You want to develop a system, because ultimately what you'll be able to do is delegate and bring on other people, and at the very least streamline the process so it's much more efficient. You also want to make sure you integrate it with other tools. So for example, a HubSpot can integrate with WordPress. It can integrate with different email marketing providers. If you're heavy on email and you want to make that connection, you can certainly integrate that. HubSpot has a whole list of everybody that they integrate with, so take advantage of that. You can also pull reports, make that part of your system, because when you put in all this work and you don't look at the reports to see what's working and what's not, then it's all sort of pointless. So pull those reports and see, you can also probably figure out how long your actual sales cycle is. For B2B, that's sometimes super hard. Best case, we usually guesstimate how long that is. This will help you get an average. If you look at quarter to quarter, year over year, are you improving? Is your sales cycle getting shorter? Is it getting longer? Is it all over the place? What do you need to do to make it a succinct process? Also use the features. HubSpot has a feature where you can be notified when someone opens an email that you send. If you're in your follow-up little batch of time on your sales day, you can set a notification to find out when they open it. So at least okay, they're still engaged and I still have them, as opposed to, I don't know if they got the email. Am I just waiting to hear back? They also have a notes area. So if you talk to them and they say, hey, I don't want to follow up until, summer, well, then you note the account, because by summer, you're not going to remember what y'all talked about. And then there are reminders. Hey, you need to follow up with these people next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So those are some tips. And then HubSpot and Pipedrive are both really good platforms. Pipedrive is a little more involved. HubSpot is super easy if you have not used one before, but Pipedrive does have a lot of really great capabilities. All right, number 2, Chatbot. What is it? It's basically a computer program that simulates human conversation through voice commands, or text chats, or both. And chatbots can really help you grow your sales because it allows you to engage with visitors in real time. This is given if you have live, or if it's pre prompted. Live is definitely better, but that's a pretty tall order if you're a small business, to have somebody or yourself dedicated to responding right away every time, because you never know when a message is gonna come in. So I would advise, if you can do live, great. If you have somebody to handle that. If you don't, then you can still set it up with prompts to ask qualifying questions. That will help lead the visitor to sort of more of a solution, kind of get them to the point, as opposed to allowing them to kind of kick around the website and go from here to there. You can also push timely tips and offers. So if you have an event coming up, or you have a sale or a launch or something like that, your pop-up, which is going to be part of your chatbot, can kind of make that front and center. And a few recommendations on how to use those is, like I said, use live chat. If you're trying to figure out how to load up your questions, use your FAQs. Those are super simple. Yes, you have an FAQ page on your site, or you should. We're going to talk about that as well. But put that front and center so that the user doesn't have to go looking around for it. It's kind of served to them. Maybe your most popular question can be the one that comes up right away. And you can also offer a product or service. If you have a promotion going on, you can offer it right then and there. And HubSpot and Pipedrive allow you to do that. And feel free to drop any questions in the chat as we're going. We're monitoring it, and we'll have questions at the end, but let me know if you guys have any questions about this. All right, your pop-ups, what are they? This is a window that appears in the user interface without an intentional action from the user. Like, we've all been served pop-ups, right? Sometimes they're super useful and sometimes they're super annoying. So we definitely want to, for our own websites, use pop-ups in a more effective way. So it can help support your sales by basically directing attention on one opt-in, one thing. For B2C folks, mostly e-com, that's usually like some sort of coupon. For B2B folks, that can be a opt-in request for a lead magnet, or to watch a video or a download or something like that. You want to gain favor with a relevant offer, not just something that you just threw together. It should make sense for your audience. And ideally, what you'll be able to do is increase your average order value or build your email list. These are two very valuable things that can help support your growth. So you want to consider those. These are examples of pop-ups that you can use for B2B folks. Did you catch our latest webinar? Watch it here. Interested in podcast production? Book a call here. Now, your pop-ups can also be tailored to the specific page. So certainly for your services pages, they should be specific. So we have 4 services. Podcast production is very specific. If somebody is on that page, they are probably interested in the service. So we want to take the opportunity to give them another chance to book a call. Like, if you're interested, like, let's get on a call about that. B2C folks, especially for retail or e-com, hey, you forgot something, complete your order while inventory lasts. that can kind of plant the seed of urgency and get them to go back if they forgot or they got distracted or what have you. You can also offer sort of a cross sell. Hey, know what goes great with whatever category of pages you're on? Our collection of this. You can check it out here. And so just make it make sense for them and serve it up so that they don't have to think. Best practices when using your website pop-ups, definitely personalize the offer and only show it once. When you set it up, there'll be a setting that will ask you how many times do you want to show it? Only show it once. Make it easy to exit. You want to use simple, catchy copy, not long paragraphs or a lot of words there. Just very simple and big and bold if you can. Make sure it's mobile friendly. So if you have users that are coming from their phone, they can easily see it fully and they can easily exit out of it on mobile. And then you have to A/B test what's going to work. What you think your audience may want may not be what they're engaging with. So just factor in time as part of your planning process to test. All right, FAQs. So basically, when you put together proper FAQs, this is going to reduce your phone calls and your emails. So that saves you time. Also, from an SEO perspective, it adds value. So Google is always looking to show what their goal is to show people what they want. So, for example, if you have well built out FAQs around a very niche topic, you have a better chance of, I mean, if you go to Google right now and type in anything, the first few things you're going to see are questions if they're applicable, because people want answers right away. And then you click the little arrow and it gives you the answer. So when you add, it adds value to SEO, which gives you better visibility when you have very, very specific and thought out FAQs. And then it reinforces expertise and trust, right? If you have the top 5 to 10 questions answered on your website, at a glance, the user, if they're really interested, are going to be like, okay, this is a very credible company. They clearly have experience, or I think they do. I want to know more. I'm ready to move to the next step, whether that's hop on a call or shoot them a message. All right. So some best practices, you want to make your FAQs easy to find. It should be very clear on your menu bar. Here's where you find answers to questions. Make the tone from the customer POV. I'm notorious about this. I can get very, very, very industry jargon down, and that doesn't translate to people who aren't in marketing. It doesn't matter that they're looking for it as a service, they're not in the business. So they need to be able to read copy that is from their point of view, not a bunch of technical jargon. So be mindful of that. You can also add relevant links. So you definitely want to answer the question, but if you have supporting blog posts on your website that speaks more to that answer, you can add them in your FAQs. If you have a lot of questions, just from an industry perspective, you can organize by category. We see this a lot with your retail sites. They're going to have a section for returns. They're going to have a section for, purchases. It's going to sort of be broken up so that you can quickly get to what you need. Keep it short and concise. And then include a call to action. I'm a big fan of call to actions wherever you can fit them in and they make sense. If somebody is going through very specific FAQs, certainly by category, they're probably interested in that. Let's give them an easy opportunity to connect and move to the next step. And these are some tips on how to start to formulate your FAQs. If you haven't, you can look at your customer questions. What are your customers constantly asking you, and build FAQs around that. How do you find that? Look through your emails, and you can also look through social media comments. Now, that's one that I didn't know about until recent, or didn't really learn about until recently. People usually put in the comments like what they're confused about, unclear about, don't understand, don't get, it's not making sense to them for whatever reason. That's an opportunity, if it's part of your industry, to build an FAQ around that. Also competitor websites. You don't want to copy them, but you can, take your top 3 competitor sites and can you explain the questions better? And what can you add? All right. So reviews and testimonials. Um, Basically, these help because they reinforce trust and credibility. It provides social proof of your capabilities, and it shows how the problem can be solved very specifically. And so, when requesting testimonials or reviews, here are some things you want to consider to ensure you get solid testimonials. A lot of times, if we request it, or we remember to request testimonial from the client, we kind of get back these very fluff pieces. Oh, it was really great working with such and such. Looking forward to working with them again. That doesn't necessarily help the goal of the testimonial, which is to support credibility and to support more business. So here are some things you want to consider. Make sure that it includes a specific pain point that led them to search for a solution. And then what made them choose you as the provider. You can also have in there what they hope to gain by working with you. What was the goal? And if that was achieved? And what was their experience like along the way? So this is an example of a really good testimonial. The person gave very specific details on exactly what problem was solved. And it's still very short. It's not long. We don't have to go into detail, but you get the idea that, this solved the problem for them. Couple things to remember. If you're going to request testimonials or reviews from clients, you want to get the timing right. Make sure that you've delivered on everything that you set out to deliver on, and make sure that's all wrapped up and done before you ask for a testimonial. Make it easy for them to do it. Video if possible. And video can be on their phone. It doesn't have to be difficult. Sometimes people find it easier to just start talking to a camera rather than sit down and write it out. And then you want to create an SOP around getting testimonials. We often forget. We're starting to implement testimonials as part of the client offboarding is getting a testimonial. So just kind of put that into a system so that you don't forget and you can continue to build that up. Inquiry form. This is a big one. It's basically just a way for websites to gather valuable information and leads from users on the site itself. It can support in a major way. It enhances your productivity and saves time. It allows you to consistently capture relevant data, basically automate it. But the really big one is that you can screen and nurture your leads. So you can eliminate tire kickers and focus your energy on people who are ready to buy and just need to be nurtured a bit in a specific way. Here is an example of a workflow we use on our site. This was through Dubsado. So basically, the visitor opens the form, they fill it out. One of the qualifying questions is around budget. So for us, this helps us to make sure we're focusing on leads that have the budget for digital marketing and are prepared to make the investment. And that's been a game changer for us in terms of revenue growth. So you want to really make sure, obviously, you want their name, their email, all those normal things. But those key qualifying questions, whatever that looks like for your business, you need to include those as well. Once they submit the form, they are either prompted to schedule a call or they're redirected to a course that we're prepared to launch for more of the DIY inquiries that we get better suited, that they are not able to take on an agency right now, but they can still take this information and use it in the same way. So some things that you definitely want to flesh out in your form. If you can't think of anything, these are 3 things. Budget investment, whatever that is for your industry. I think globalization has led to a wide range for most industries, a wide range of like prices. It's no longer necessarily like, oh, this is the average price of this. I mean, because you can basically get labor from anywhere in the world now, I think this has contributed heavily to, very much skewed pricing. So you want to make sure whatever your budget is, that you include that in the form so that you know, okay, I'm talking to a serious buyer. I'm talking to someone that's probably not a good fit. You also want to include what specific products and services you have, and then a start date. How soon are they looking to start the service or make the purchase or do whatever it is that you want them to do? If they're not, for months, then that's a certain way that you want to approach that lead. If they're looking to start now, that's a different approach you want to do when you get on the call. And the last one is the Facebook pixel. So this is basically a piece of code you put on your website that lets you measure, optimize, and build audiences for ad campaigns, right? We all know what the pixel is, and what Facebook ads are. They can help you grow your sales by allowing you to build a targeted audience based on behavior. So you can target anybody you want through Facebook based on all these criteria and interests. But the real goal is when you're targeting them based on behavior, pretty much on your site. It also allows you to remarket to people who've taken specific actions on your site, and it allows you to track conversions from ads. So one of the best features of the pixel is that you can track various events. So events are basically any activity that occurs on your site. You just have to set up your pixel to do it. So if you want to track when someone subscribes to your newsletter, if you want to track if you have if you're a startup and you have a SaaS product and you have a trial, if you want to track when someone signs up for a trial because you want to remarket them later on Facebook, kind of within the time frame the trial is up, that's a pretty good strategy. You can do downloads, B2C folks, product views. How many times have we gotten, if we've been on TJ Maxx's website and you look at 2 dresses, it will be in your Facebook feed within a few minutes. You'll see it and it'll kind of be like, oh, you forgot something, or were you still interested in these? These are all things that anybody can do with Facebook ads, utilizing their pixel in a strategic way. And that has tremendous ROI because there's a million reasons why somebody didn't purchase or do whatever. But product views, abandoned cart, completions, if somebody completed an action, you may want to retarget them in a different way. And here's an example of how we run one of our most effective campaigns using the pixel. So we have a few lead magnets. They download a lead magnet. The retargeting ad number 1 is how to use it. So we might serve this ad to anybody that downloaded the lead magnet within a few days, right? Within 3 days of download, they get an ad on how to use what they downloaded. And it's in video format. Video format is the least expensive. And you're not asking for a conversion. You're asking for them to watch. That's cheaper. Then we do a second retargeted ad. We want to target people who watch 75% of that previous ad, that video. And we want to show them a deeper dive on the benefits of the lead magnet, maybe working with us, whatever the case may be. And then we may do a third one that's kind of that call to action. Hey, schedule a call, let's book a demo, and we'll have that conversion button there because that's going to be the most expensive for Facebook. Whenever you do ads, anything awareness based where you're not really asking them to click or download or do anything that's a conversion is less expensive. This is your opportunity to warm up that audience. And then you kind of move them down. And then when you feel like you've done enough sort of nurturing, you can say, hey, let's do a conversion here. Let's book a call. Let's make a purchase. Let's sign up for something. And you have a better chance of getting that. All right. So those are basically the 7 ways that you can utilize your website as a sales tool. So again, really the goal here would be to look at, a few of them and test to see what will work. You probably have some of these already, and it's just a matter of looking at them in a different way and going back in and optimizing them. And real quick, before we open up to questions, I did want to let everybody know we are still running our Black Friday website design promotion. We opened this up to about 8 clients to ensure we could handle each project, and we have about 3 slots left. So if you're interested or have any questions about this, you can PM me or email me at kelly@brndmethod.com. The site it's a really good deal, 5-page mobile responsive. We put the chat box integration in there. We'll do one pop-up design, and we'll also include 30 days of custom social media copy, and integrate your email marketing. So you'll be really set up to go and do business with this promotion. So feel free to email about that. And all right, happy to answer any questions. We have any questions? Let me see. Let me check the chat. Okay, let's see. We have trying to stream this across some things. Okay. So the inquiry form. Yeah. So HubSpot and Dubsado, we've built on both of those. Honestly, it's not that much difference. The only thing that we personally like more about Dubsado over Honeybook is that, or the only thing we personally like Honeybook over Dubsado is because Honeybook allows us to process payments. That's it. The inquiry, the ability to build out the form and the workflows behind it are pretty much the same. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. FAQs. So FAQs are, I would say probably like a good number of FAQs is probably going to be like 5 to 10. 7 is a sweet spot. Anything beyond that, you definitely want to be like putting into categories. But I think, 7 to 10 is probably good. No less than 5 would be a good amount. All right. Is that it? Well, all right. Again, this has been great. Yeah, please feel free. Here's the contact slide. You can email me directly, kelly@brndmethod.com or info@brndmethod.com. Anytime if you're interested in digital marketing services, website design, podcast production, we are open and available for all of that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.